How you doing, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Great. Oh, I'm so excited to do my Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14 episode 1 premiere review. The shade begins. I'm gonna be doing this. I can't wait till Basketball Wives starts so I can be doing that too. But Lord, Bravo is the shadiest network, I think, for reality TV. I used to think Bad Girls Club was bad. I used to think that Basketball Wives was bad. Bravo or VH1 was bad. Bravo was the worst. Their shade hits so deep. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this review and to rest because I'm gonna add to the shade too. So let's get into it. So now we've reached the point where Marlo has finally, after laying on her back for so many years and trying to secure a real bag, she has finally secured a peach to keep that bag. We're not going to be talking about the billionaire that she fucked, 10 plus years ago. And she said that she's been using that money to sponsor her life, maybe selling some of the Birkins that she didn't got when she was with him because she keeps bragging about that penis that she was on that never married her. However, she finally got her peach. And I'm very proud of her because she is now going to so-called look like she's going to be the Nene of the episode or the show. Because Nene, while she's suing Bravo for racism, Marlo's over here. She's going to be the Nene of the show because Nene was all about the fashions, okay? And Marlo's going to be all about the fashions, all right? So we get into it. We have Kenya practicing her Dancing with the Stars move with her dance partner, Brandon Armstrong. And we all know that by the time somebody gets to Dances with the Stars, your ass is a has-been. So Kenya, that pageant don't work for you no more. And while you age, you are on Dancing with the Stars. And while I'm so very proud of you, we need to go ahead and talk about the situation because she did do well. I'm not gonna lie. She did well on the show. I mean, I saw several of her, performances. She didn't do a bad job. Plus, Kenya has a nice body, even though she has a very unusual surgically implanted butt. Whoever did it did not do it appropriately, but if it works for her, it works for me. So she's flirting with this dancer, Brandon, right? And while she's flirting with her, she flirting with him, she goes, "Don't look at my ashy feet." And these freaking Bravo networks flashed back and had Portia's ass, who's not even on the show's voice in the background, talking about, "Bye, ashy." I was like, what kind of cut and paste? They do the best editing, I'm not gonna lie. So they did that, and then Brandon's like, "Don't worry, your feet are ashy no matter what." But you know, Brandon's just thinking, I just want to say whatever's necessary so I can get some ass, because she clearly flirting with me. Then we have Kandi and Marlo's post-lipo body show up to now support Kenya in her little, I guess her session or her workout or her practice, whatever that is. I think she was rehearsing. So they show up, and Kandi and everybody and Marlo are genuinely supportive. Marlo wore an outfit that's akin to one of the type of outfits that I guess Kenya wore in the past. She came there with her bob, and she's talking to us. And Marlo in the confessional talking about, "I'm Marlo Patrice Hampton from St. Petersburg and Clearwater, Florida." And the freaking producer, whoever in the court, is like, "Marlo, child, you've been here for a long time, child. You ain't new." What are you doing trying to introduce yourself? Marlo wanted to make sure that she had her moment because now that she's earned the peach, she wants to introduce herself as the person who has the peach, not the person who's the extra on the show, as Nene's friend. Then we had Nene put her on, by the way, and you know, it worked out for her, but Nene fucked up the bag. Sorry, now Marlo's going ahead and earn her bag. Now we have her talking about how she replaced her edges. Y'all remember when Eva was on I think last season, Eva was there. Her and Eva got into an argument, and Eva said, "You need to go ahead and put some gossip glue down on your hair, put that wig together, and go ahead and fix your edges." And I need to fix my own damn way. But anyway, she said that. So what Marlo lets us know is that basically that comment got to her personally because she didn't went to a surgical, whatever the case, whatever those little machines are, got her head shaved out in the back and then got them transplanted to her sideburns. She didn't grow her edges back. She grew her sideburns. So that when she wear the wig, her sideburns are laid. And I was like, well, Marlo, whatever makes you happy, girl. If you feel cute, I'm happy for you. So then while she's describing that, we got Kandi and Kenya now talking about Marlo's hair, and in comes She by Sheree. Actually, prior to that, Marlo was talking to them about what she's doing with her fashion. She introduces Le Archives, what she calls it, Le Archives, spelled L-E'_ARCHIVE. She was trying to be French. Bitch, if you were trying to be French, you need to remove that L-E. That's so ghetto. Put like an L''ARCHIVE. The le part makes you look like you are the black version of France, not the actual real version of France. I was like, as she was explaining it, I was looking at her and I was just, I'm happy for Marlo, but she was so proud while she was saying how she wanted to go and have something that's like, if you walk into a Paris, you have this beautiful couture, clothes that she's acquired over the years, and she's basically renting them motherfuckers like you would a wedding dress. And she's renting it out to people who are in TV productions, people who are on, you know, celebrities, because she eventually wants in the credits them to mention the archive. But some people may not want to mention it because of how ghetto it sounds. I'm just saying, but I'm happy that you out here using the billionaire money to get yourself further in life. Whatever you have to do. I mean, hell, I keep telling people, if you're going to be a hoe, you better be a paid hoe. And that better secure your retirement. You're not about to be a hoe and make a little $50 a pop and then you don't have nothing in the future. But Marlo knew what she was doing with her money. So spell it L-E or L, girl. I'm so proud of you. You went far. That booty and that back, all that back that didn't stretch out and blew out. You got a good girl. So she did what she did, and she's explaining to them that she is now going to have a debut where she wants to show that off. And she now mentions her billionaire investor from 10 years ago. And of course, Candy is my spirit, because Candy says what I was thinking in the background. Bitch, that was 10 years plus years ago. You still have money from that? How are you making your money, Marlo? I mean, the shade of all of this is hilarious. I wish Marlo, when Marlo is done watching this during the reunion of this season 14, it's going to be lit. So then we have In Comes She by Sheree in person, child, because we ain't seen that little line that she's been working on since before Jesus died and rose from the dead. We have yet to see another one of I mean, hell, we already know that Sheree takes a long time doing everything. I mean, it took her forever for that damn house, okay? I mean, hell, Living Kenya came in and built and fixed her house before Sheree had hers done. But Sheree, when it was done right. I will say that. But damn, Andy asked her last time she was on the show, when is She by Sheree? And the first thing she said was joggers. And we were like, bitch, the fuck? What? That doesn't answer the question. And she now explained that it's not going to be a joggers line. And she keeps coming with all these joggers in the episodes and scenes that she's showing up that she's not supposed to be dressing. And we're still wondering why you can put those joggers on your body, but we don't see it in the She by Sheree. So they're over here and they're sitting down. Everybody asks her, well, where is Tyrone? Okay. And she said they flashed back to 4 years ago where we first heard about Tyrone. At the same time, we remember that Tyrone was also somebody who was involved with Nene at some point, and Nene didn't want to address that shit because she was with Greg. So Sheree actually still maintained that prison relationship. It was like Love After Lockup means Real Housewives of Atlanta type situation. I said, Sheree, you in the wrong show. You should be in Love After Lockup, because we need to see how Tyrone's going to do you the right way, because Bravo's not about to venture there. So you should have gotten your bag there too. Hell, I would have been in Real Housewives of Atlanta and Love After Lockup so they can get my money both. But here we go. So he's now out and we need to see what love is like for her after lockup. But she said that he paroled to another state and that he's not able to be with her now, and that she only sees him twice a month, and that she's been supportive of him this the whole time. She wants to see if love, conquers all. I said, love cannot conquer all if you're in a whole different state of a man who's been in prison for a considerable amount of years. He's been seeing a lot of man's assholes. Now that he's out in real life and he's not has to adjust, you need to put your asshole in his face all the time. Otherwise, some other bitch asshole is going to be in his face and not yours. But she's saying that she only sees him twice a month. And then they ask her, well, how was the sex? And she says it was very short. Naturally, I laughed. Okay, because it made sense. But at the same time, she says, no, we're abstinent right now because, when you're in prison, you come out, you don't know what type of person that they are. You don't know if it's realistic. You don't know if what they're saying behind bars because they're trying to keep your attention is the same as when you come out. I understand that aspect of it, but child, if you already invested how many years on this man, so long as you didn't seen him an STD test to make sure that he's clean in all sides, you better get what you need to get. If this man has spent your money, has been behind bars, haven't done anything to you, the only thing he can give you is dick. So you might as well go and get it while it's available, because right now you're sitting up here talking about we're being abstinent, girl, we're being abstinent. You are not a 20 something, 14, 16, whatever, however many old young people are that start fucking. You are not that anymore, Sheree. You're over 40 years old. Now is not the time for you to be doing all that stuff. You don't have time. Well, I'm not saying you're going to pass soon. I'm just saying, like, when you reach a certain age, if I reach 40, 45 years old, all that bullshit about, I want to wait till marriage. If I'm not married, okay, no, I'm going to enjoy the years that I have, because you know that after a certain while, your outside may not crack, but your inside, you don't know what the hell is going on in there. I mean, enjoy, especially after spending 4 years with this man and he didn't buy you nothing. He needs to at least be dicking you down. So all the girls asked the question I asked, girl, what? So she said that she's just waiting to see. And then they're like, well, aren't you afraid that he's gonna go out there and start dicking everybody else down since he's been away from pussy for a long time? And Sheree's like, no, girl, he loves this WAP, but he hasn't tried your WAP according to you, or you lying to us. If I was to guess, Sheree lying. She gave up the ass. She did. You have to be stupid not to. Anyway, so Kenya explains that she is currently fully divorced in her mind with Mark. Mark, who we got sick and tired of seeing over and over and over again with his damn piercings, with his wannabe important ass. We didn't see this man come out here play some mind games with Kenya. We didn't see Kenya fall in love with him looking stupid, trying to retain a relationship with a man. Don't even seem like he give a fuck about her. He's just irritated with her. We didn't see him come into town. All he cares about is Brooklyn. Well, she said that the last time they went on a family vacation with Brooklyn. And since then, he has not seen her for months. He is a pop in and pop out type dad. And we're looking at her like, girl, why hasn't he not signed the divorce papers? And she said, shit, I'm waiting for him to sign it because I wouldn't want his ass to let me go. At the same time, we remember that Kenya still put a clause in it that she will be the one that's the sole physical and legal custody of Brooklyn. And if he's only seen her once every few months, it makes it very, very plausible that she should be that person. But maybe he don't want to sign it for that, because that might mean that he has to pay child support and he don't want to do that. So he's just going to sit there and not sign it and keep it as long as he can until Kenya forces him to sign that damn paper. That's what's going to happen. Then we have Candy talking about this, Marlo asking about Candy and Todd, how they're doing. Is their sex life okay? How are things doing? Things like that. And Candy goes, I'm so busy that when by the time we get into bed with Todd, we're so tired we go to sleep. Candy, you and Todd are still young in your relationship. Y'all should be fucking. I wish my husband, after us having our businesses and stuff like that, I'll be in the bed every night with all this puss and all he could do is fall asleep. I will sit on his face in his dreams, okay? But either way, she's saying that they can't really get in the groove in the way that they used to because they're so busy. And Marlo has best advice. Quit 2 of your jobs so you can fuck your man, okay? That's what you need to do. Then we have Marlo at her house. We get to see her with her nephews, Michael and William. And we know the story of Marlo, kind of like being surrogate parent to them, Monty, because her sister is incarcerated and she decided to now take them in. But since she's taking them in, she's upgrading their life. She's bougieing them the fuck up the way I do with my stepkids. And I'm gonna be very honest, because my husband's kids, the baby's mom, not to shit on them, but they're like, you know, on food stamps, Section 8 type lifestyle. And I've never been on that. I've always been the type of person that had multiple jobs. Even when I was in school making $8 an hour, I was still working 2 jobs to pay for myself. So the older I got and the more experience I got, and I got my master's and got a better job, I ended up securing myself to where I was able to purchase my own home, buy multiple cars, things like that. So by the time my husband's kids came into my life, we over there buying them iPhones, taking them across country, taking them to the UK, taking them every damn where, you know, spending money. And to them, they think that money is just flowing, like we're just balling, but we're not. They just are so far removed to what stability looks like when you're a middle-class person. But I'm happy that we're upgrading them, because now they're low-key bougieing up a little bit. They'll come up in here, you can tell them, well, I want some money. Be like, I don't have money. Be like, you're lying. That's the first thing that they say. You know, I like it that way to a certain extent, because I know that when they get older, if they're used to the finer things in life, the way that Marlo is exposing Michael and William to the finer things in life, they're not going to want to be broke. So if you want to get that money and keep making that money, you're going to want to work hard and learn from the person that you are with. And my stepson this past weekend said something that was so touching to me. It took me some time for it to hit me. Okay. Because he was sitting there with his dad on the couch and they were talking about people to date. And he fixed his mouth and he said, if my wife is not anything like if the girl I meet is not anything like me, that he's not going to be with her. And I heard him say that. But it kind of was like, it took some time before it sunk into what he really said. Not that he doesn't value his mother, not that he doesn't love his mother, but he obviously knows that the type of life he wants to live is the type of life that I've exposed him to. So he said that to me, and I was so quick to text that to my husband's mom and my sisters, like, this is the sweetest thing I've ever heard. Not knowing that my husband's mom was gonna call him, talk about, if you want to be with somebody like her, you got to do right in school, you got to get good grades, because she ain't finna be with a bum. So for Marlo to be exposing Michael and William to this lifestyle where they get like spinach. She was making spinach mushroom eggs with them, which I make spinach eggs. Those things are bomb and very good for you. She was giving them orange juice, giving them fruit. They have like an apple cutter. They have, she's cash apping them money, so they don't have to worry about money. They got good shoes. They feel confident. Yes, they miss their mom. Yes, that's valid. You know, they miss the person, they miss their parent, the person that they love. But missing her is not them struggling as well. They can miss her, but still find joys in other things that kids would do as the years pass. You understand what I'm saying? And when they get older, they'll remember this life that she provided for them, and they will want to achieve that. So they'll want to work hard. So I was very proud of Marlo in that regard. So then we get to Drew and cheating ass Ralph's situation in their family life and his gaslighting motherfucking ass. So they're about to now go and work out with actual athletes that we just got introduced to the show. Sonia, I think her name is Sonia Rachel Ross, and her husband, former NFL player Aaron Ross. Sonia is a 4-time gold medalist and a bronze medalist, but she don't want to talk about the bronze, child. She just wants the gold. But she is a well-known athlete in her own right. She was a track runner. Did a great job. Now, Drew's like, I was athletic when I was young. I used to do, run track in high school. I did a 4x1 and a 4x4. I was like, yeah, that's true. Because I did that shit too when I was in high school. I did a 4x1, 4x4, and I also did the hurdles. By the time you get to the end of the 4x4, running that, because you sprinting a whole lap, that's a quarter of a mile, okay? By the time you get to the end to hand up that baton, you're like, okay, you had to consistently keep running in practice to be able to maintain that same speed level. And yeah, we went to championships and we did that. We competed, so that's good. But Drew, that's been a few years back, okay? So I don't think that you can see, looking at Sonia's ass and Drew's ass, the type of workouts that Sonia and her husband Eric have been doing, don't look like the type of shit that you've been doing. And then Drew had the nerve to call Ralph on the phone. Ralph is like, I play professional football. I was a good athlete. I made it to the D list that Drew said or whatever. D1, I think is what you called it level. And he said that he played for Rutgers, but he didn't actually play in a game. He played in the bleachers. So in his mind, he was actually an athlete, but in reality, he was watching the athletes play. And so she was like, you're on phone. You might not want to keep saying this out loud. And I was just like, y'all both a hot mess. This marriage is a hot mess express, okay? Both of you guys are just a hot ass mess. Y'all deserve each other because y'all just be foolish with your words. But either way, I like Drew because she is beautiful, but they meet up Sonia and they're in the gym working out. Sonia is barely looking like she's running. Drew's looking like she's exercising every breath of oxygen that she had just to make it to the finish line. Then they get to the part where they're squatting and Drew can't do a squat, but she's also explaining to Sonia how her and Ralph has this workout program, this meal prep program, and they're trying to it's nationwide. I'm like, nationwide, bitch, I ain't never heard of yours, but I actually heard of horse-faced Natalie Lunn's workout video, but no, her fat ass didn't get all that weight back. And I have not heard about your nationwide one. So I don't know how well known you are. Maybe just in Atlanta, wherever you're at, but it's not nationwide just yet because I ain't never heard of you. But while you're trying to do that and we're watching you work out, it's not very impressive, girl. So maybe you have Sonia put her name on there just so she can help you spread it. I'm just saying. But she did what she did. After she was done explaining it, she now brings up her marriage. Now, I will say something about Drew. The only reason Drew keeps bringing up her marriage so damn much is because she's not happy in it. So everybody that's willing to listen to her, she's going to talk about her marriage and talk about what Ralph's doing to her that she don't like. So what she says is, his assistant decided to text him saying that she can give him a massage. And he's over there complaining to Aaron, Sonia's husband, about why Drew wanted her to fire her, and while it wasn't a big deal. And I was just like, Ralph has a way of disrespecting Drew continuously, but I don't know what kind of dick he has or what kind of loving that he gives her for her to keep tolerating that shit, because we still don't know what he did when he disappeared that day when she was fighting with him. We still don't know. Freaking Andy tried to get to the answer, the root of it. He said he went to a hotel in a whole other state and he didn't do nothing. Motherfucker, you lying. Because now you sitting up here finding yourself in another potential cheating situation and you still don't understand how disrespectful your actions are. So do I think that Ralph did something faulty to her, did something fucked up to her when he left that time? Yes, he did. And he still hasn't given her a resolution to that situation. And Drew is not going to let that go until she is at peace in her head. So she's going to talk about her marriage to everybody that want to listen, including the new girl. So Sonia's listening to this situation talking about, excuse me, this bitch sent your man a text message talking about, I can give you a massage, and he has a problem firing her. I mean, it's like people with common sense are listening to her even describe this. And the fact that it's even a topic of conversation is the part that's baffling to me, because this is not a conversation I'm going to have with my husband. If I tell you to fire the bitch, you better fire the bitch or your ass is fired. It's as simple as that. Why are we still talking about this shit? It's not even supposed to be an argument. You're allowing this to be an argument. That's how Sonia looked as Drew was talking to her. But that scene ended. We get to Kenya and her dance partner that she probably had a one-night stand with at home. She's making him breakfast. He probably did a good job with them hips. And Brooklyn's there. Brooklyn is adorable. She's growing cute. She's growing beautiful. Sadly, it looks like she looks more like Mark than Kenya. Or she looks more like somebody else. She still has, I don't see Kenya's features in her as much. I just don't see it. But she's still a beautiful girl. And while that's happening, the bell rings. And this fine-ass girl with a nice makeup, beat up to whatever, her beautiful body, just sitting up there with a laptop. She opens up the laptop. I thought that Marlo was wealthy enough to where she would give the laptop to each person with a video of her. No, she not finna spend her money like that. That'd be a waste of money. So she now opened up the laptop, and every house, Drew's house, Sonia's house, Candy's house, they all have this beautiful girl at the door with the laptop open with Marlo's voice and her video recording, inviting them to the archive with the spelling wrong, to go and come see her fashion and her, basically showing her rent couture line. And she's been priming for this for a long time, waiting for the episode to air so that way it can show on TV. She spent a lot of money on this. She practiced all the, she wondered how the mannequins are going to be looking. All that stuff. She's inviting them. And Kenya has nothing but shade for her. Marlo is known for being extra, being out there. And Kenya is like, she could have done this. She could have done that. She's a fashionista person. Why wouldn't she just bring this? Kenya, I don't think is going to fully ever forgive Marlo for the comment that she made saying, even your mama don't want you. They can be cordial, but they can never be close friends. So whatever Marlo does, Kenya's gonna shade. And Marlo's gonna soon learn that whatever Kenya does, she should shade. Because Kenya doesn't tend to retain relationships too long. Mark is gone. The guy who didn't claim her the first season she came on is gone. Then we got the guy that was trying to break her window and shit that ended up in jail later on is gone. Then we got Cynthia and her relationship that finally broke down. That shit is gone. We got Phaedra and her friendship that then broke down. That shit is gone too. Then we now have her and Sheree building a relationship, but that shit ain't gonna last. We all know that part because how Sheree is and how Kenya is don't mesh together. It ain't gonna work. So Kenya has, and her and Nene used to be friends at some point, and that shit didn't work either. So there's several relationships that Kenya has destroyed. So I don't think that, and those relationships were actually a lot better than the one that she shared with Marlo. So I don't think that her and Marlo are cool. I think that they're just cordial. But as soon as Marlo's done watching all this little confessional stuff and all this shit that she throwing, she gonna get in that ass, and they're gonna be back where they started. So then we get to Drew's house. Drew has invited Sonia and Candy over to her house to do the tasting because they have a meal prep service that they're also doing to build their business and build their brand. So Sonia comes in, she walks in, drinks her drink, and she's getting ready to go sit down. Then Candy walks in, and we learned that Candy does not drink alcohol, but the way that Drew's assistant gassed her ass up, okay, I wanted to drink that drink. The way he described it, she was like, oh, I'm gonna drink this. Give me another one too. Shit, all the things you said, the way that he gassed her up, how he put it together, it was nice. Drew now lets them know that she had a hysterectomy. But while she had the hysterectomy, which I eventually probably have to have because I had a myomectomy for my fibroids, I'm hoping to have twins next. Do you hear that, Most High? As fast as these fibroids are growing, give me twins and then maybe give me one more. Okay, because I may have to have a hysterectomy as much fibroids as I have. It's just, it is what it is. And then, so Drew had a hysterectomy, and she said that while she had the hysterectomy, she now decided might as well have a whole mommy makeover because she also has issues with her weight, like I do, child. So they did the mommy makeover, and then Drew says that she lost 25 pounds in 3 weeks. That is not healthy. That does not sound sensible unless you were literally starving yourself, number one. Number two, you should be honest and tell them that you lost 25 pounds, 10 of which were water weights. And the rest of the 15 you lost were actual calories and actual fat and actual weight loss. However, you're still in the process of keep going because I still see that some of the back rows are gone. And some of the other front rows are gone. And you do look great, Drew. I'm not going to lie. But you're not what we consider skinny. You're kind of medium built. But Drew is a beautiful girl. I like her shape. But Candy didn't work her ass off to get to where she is. It took Candy some time to get to this smallness. And we just learned that it doesn't include alcohol. Can I live like that? No. I'm thinking about drinking right now. But I'm just saying, either way, she did do whatever she wanted to do, spend the money, because obviously her weight is something that bothers her. Kenya was making fun of her and body shaming her last season. It does hit home for some people who have a medical issue. But Sonia is clocking what I'm clocking, child. 25 pounds in 3 weeks sounds unreasonable for the shape that you have now. Make sure you tell the truth. It was 10 of them was water weight. Then I'll believe what you say. So 15 was the actual weight you lost. So 5 maybe each week makes more sense. Then we have... Sonya now bringing up the situation with the assistant. She said, you brought up something to me. I need to go ahead and address that situation right now. And they're talking about it. And Sonya says, and Ralph comes in. And they're asking Ralph, you know, what the story is. And Ralph, with his gaslighting, already pre-programmed affinity to go ahead and lie when he finds himself caught up into something. He now wants to tell a fabricated version of the story. But since Drew is there, Drew's now correcting every single wrong he keeps saying, including him saying things like, well, the version she told you was wrong. You know, I had issues in my back and I had problems with it. And then when she found out, she texted me this, and the third, but he wasn't telling the truth. Drew was like, no, she texted you. Maybe what she said, well, now I know, maybe you should have let me massage your back or something. And they asked him, well, how did you respond? He said, I responded by saying, I'm a guy. Essentially, you're telling her, oh, if she came over to you to massage you, since you're a guy, you obviously gonna fuck. So why are you even saying that to somebody that's not your wife? Number one, why even entertaining this? The first thing that should have came out your mouth is, this is inappropriate. I don't appreciate it. If you're going to maintain an employment under me, you need to be respectful. Simple. No, but your ass said, I'm a guy. And then, of course, because she understood what you were saying, she now responded by saying, well, now I know for the next time. This bitch has... I low-key feel like Ralph has a very low self-esteem because he's married to somebody as beautiful as Drew, and Drew is highly beautiful. And the only way he feels like he can keep on her toes is if he constantly is mind-fucking her. Let me disappear and go to a different state and not tell you what the fuck I'm doing. Let me have some bitch texting me something about massaging me, but I'm not checking her ass. I'm just going to go ahead and feed into the bullshit because I like the flirtation she gives me at your expense. And you're sitting up here as Drew is telling you how inappropriate that situation is, defending your actions. So Candy and Sonya are looking at him like, you foul as fuck. How can you sit here with a bald face and say this shit like it's cool and try to explain it? It's not cool. You're acting like a damn child and you're making her look like a buffoon. And she's unhappy by the way that you keep treating her. Do you not value this beautiful woman next to you? Ralph is behaving the way that he's behaving because Drew is tolerating it. It's facts. Then he goes, I don't want to do this. I should have never talked to you guys. Bitch, you shouldn't have, because you know how foolish you sound. Then we get to finally the Archives day of debut. Marlo just spent $40K out of her service money to put up this event. She rented a beautiful ballroom that looks like a place you have a wedding. She has mannequins everywhere of different shapes and sizes, no wig. She has her nice outfits that she done wore secondhand clothes put up on these mannequins that happen to be expensive. And she was not going to risk any of these models ripping her clothes in the back or not handling it properly. So she preferred mannequins because nobody can touch the mannequins and it would just be for show. So Marlo ain't that dumb. She ain't finna waste her money. So then she now has this display, and Sonya comes in. Everybody's talking about this looks like a department store because it really does give department store style because of how the mannequins are displayed. But department stores don't have hors d'oeuvres or, you know, unlimited alcoholic drinks at the corner bars that you can drink from, and they damn sure don't have anybody coming up here wearing like stuff they'll wear to the Met Gala or something like that. So I say that there's some differences in what she did that you won't find in a department store, because that hors d'oeuvres look bomb through the freaking TV. I wanted to reach in and eat some myself. Candy sure as hell was going to stuff her stomach as much as possible because she ain't drinking alcohol. She's gonna eat them food. So everybody's looking around. You got Kenya that's supposed to be coming in, but Kenya had just gotten cut from Dancing with the Stars. She kind of wasn't her feelings, but somebody had to win, girl. Somebody was going to lose anyway. It just happened to be that it wasn't your luck. But either way, you got on the show, made your coins, came out good, wore one of the best outfits to this event that Marlo was throwing, and you didn't bring the little drum line with you. Kenya, more hair care. You didn't fuck up the show, which I'm so proud of you for that. So Kenya came in to now support Marlo with the shade, but she came in without the drum line, and that's saying a lot for Kenya's behavior and her erraticness in the past. She comes in, and then Drew and her decide to go off to the corner and talk about how Drew and her want to hit the reset button because they didn't get along a lot last year. Drew needs all the support that she can get because now she's having issues at home and she's unhappy. So she's going to try to squash things with Kenya so she don't add to her, you know, more drama to her plate. And then Sonya is in the confessional saying what I'm saying. Why would she name it Le Archive with an L-E instead of love? She's trying to give a French ambiance because that would be easier for people to pick up. But either way, whatever she named it, these are some nice couture clothes and these look good. And if it works for her, it works for her. Plus she had a lot of big name people there in the fashion industry, plus a few bloggers. So Marlo is networking very well. And if it works for her, it works for her. It ain't your money. So then Marlo comes out and she's now in her nice, beautiful clothes covered in feathers, looking like, you know, somebody just poured a bird on her and just glued up to her body, but she has her lipo body, so she's good to go. She's wearing it. She got legs for days. She comes out and she's now talking about her Valentino gown and her kimono that she wore. We've seen her wear several times on the episode, on several seasons that passed, that Candy did touch on. She now explains to them that people are going to be renting this and they're going to be rented by the hour. She explains how she's going to be, how she wants it to be, how the display is. She does not know at this point that everybody had been talking shit since they walked in, thinking this is going to be like a fashion show type situation, like they're on a runway seeing people walk around with the clothes. But considering that this is not a clothes that she's making for sale, that this is not like a closet that she's creating where you can go online and order ample, this different types of clothes. This is clothes that she didn't buy. There's only one of each. So she's not going to have people breaking the shop by walking around with strangers that don't know how expensive this clothes are and potentially fucking it up. They're fucking up the bag. So Marlo ain't dumb, and they should consider that. This is secondhand expensive clothes. So that's what it is. So they're talking about it. And then now Sonya pulls Marlo off to the side and decides to talk to Marlo about all the shade and all the stuff that, everybody's been saying. Because Marlo did go up there and make a speech talking about, y'all know me, y'all know I'm dealing with old money. Old money is money that has generations in, okay? That money don't run out, okay? And when she says that, Kenya's like, no, we don't. We can't vouch for you on that shit. We don't know how you get your money. I'm not saying that you're out here fucking, but we just know that you may go on dates and money transactions occur from those dates. Is Marlo's conversation so much that she's getting 10 bands per date? That's an escort situation. No, ma'am. So they're not saying that she's fucking, but essentially, that might be what they're insinuating to a certain extent. But Sonya goes, she's the bone collector now. Next is Sheree. Sheree's quiet. And she tells Marlo that of some of the stuff that the girls were asking that were shady. Marlo is obviously hurt. She's in her feelings. And especially because Kenya is the one running her mouth the most. So she decides to go over there. After she's finished shading Kenya, she said Kenya had a white refrigerator at some point in the past. And I'm thinking to myself, I had to look at my refrigerator. I was like, oh no, this motherfucker's black. But I'm like, I remember when I was renting apartments, years ago, was in 2010, they had white refrigerators in those apartments because it's cheap. Is that what you're trying to say? Because Kenya did have to come up being on these shows. On the Real Housewives Lyin, she made the bag. And she moved up and she built her house and she set it up. But Marlo's talking about her like you had the right refrigerator in your house. You need to pressure wash your house. You need your hair care and this and the third. Marlo was shading her left and right. And I was just like, damn, Marlo is really hurt. That's why she's talking. But Marlo, you said some of the harshest things to Kenya. I don't know if she can forgive you that easily. I personally won't forgive you that easy, child. I will still be talking shit every time I see you. We'll just be cordial with me talking shit. But then she goes over there and she now decides to go and change her clothes before she comes out for her next show. And Candy now pulls out her messages and says that she found the assistant that was basically flirting with Drew's husband. And somehow that assistant has found out information about the conversation they were having with Ralph about her wanting to massage him. And with her knowing that information, she's now going online, sending like what's considered a subliminal message to Drew. Like, if I wanted it, I can have it. As in, bitch, Ralph made it easy for me to go and fuck him. If I wanted him, I could. I just chose not to. Well, bitch, why you flirting with him then? If you're going to be a hoe, be all the way a hoe. Let Drew see what kind of man Ralph is by going through with it so she can finally break free, because Drew's holding on to I don't even know what the fuck she's holding on to this man. Why? Okay, he looks like one of the cartoon characters that Hey Arnold. I'm so confused. Then we have Marlo coming out with her nice outfit. She looked like, according to what Sheree said, the picture I posted on here for the video, that candy that the parents give you at church so you can hush up, that little pumpkin looking candy or pineapple looking candy is how she looked, but she was wearing all red. Marlo has nice legs, but it looked like she was swimming in some kind of igloo-like outfit, and it was supposed to be fashion. She marches her ass over to where Kenya is, and Kenya is like, the dress shouldn't be wearing her. It was a shade she gave her, but Kenya is now sitting there, and she don't know that Marlo knows what Sanya had to now relate to her. So Marlo is sitting there, and she's ready to start shading, but the person that she's aiming the shade to the most is Drew, because Drew is very readable. She talked about Drew having what's called a French roll, the French roll in the back with her head, where you put like, it looks like a croissant, where you put like and they freaking Bravo shady ass actually showed the bun next to the croissant. I was like, oh my God, Bravo, y'all are so fucking shady. But she's right, Drew is right. This is supposed to be a ball, so technically my hair is supposed to be wrapped like I'm going to a wedding. That's what that is. At the same time, She talked about Drew and Drew not having any money. I mean, then Kenya's like, yo, all of us were talking shit. Then she basically went after Kenya. And Kenya's like, Marlo's like, well, tell me what each one of you says so I can read you. And Kenya's like, you first have to learn how to read. And Marlo's like, you don't think I know how to read? I said, well, Marlo, your reads are kind of falling short with sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it does. Because I saw you go against Eva. Eva tore your ass up. You know what I'm saying? And Kenya does read you for filth sometimes too. So I know that Marlo is known for going below the belt, yes, but reading is not necessarily going below the belt because it's fundamental, child. You should read by not having to break somebody down to the white meat. You should be able to read. And so Kenya was like, learn how to read. I'm like, damn. Marlo is genuinely hurt because it's her hard work. I understand. But Kenya ain't sparing your feelings. She don't care. She just got booted off of Dancing with the Stars, and Kenya projects her pain and her anger elsewhere whenever she's hurt. Whoever's around her that's her friend, like Cynthia said, is going to feel that burn. So girl, you're the target for today. Let Kenya go ahead and talk shit. So then everybody else who also asking about it, Kenya says something like, you need to just go ahead and FedEx your clothes to eBay, your secondhand clothes. And I was like, they put LeBay as the freaking shady, like eBay, LeBay. And they're talking about, brought up when I went and said something like, what they said, they go, I rolled lots of dicks for these pieces with Marlo's voice in the background. And I said, I'm sorry. Even with Potomac and even with Salt Lake City, I have never seen so much shade on the producers' end because of how they edit the show. So much is what they're doing with Atlanta. It is extreme, the level of shade that they do with the way that they cut and paste it. It is so strong. It's not even subtle anymore. Before it was subtle. That shit ain't subtle no more. It's right in your face, okay? And then they ask Marlo about how she makes her money and how she plans on billing people. Marlo says is 25% of the cost of each close. So if the close is $10,000, you pay me $2,500 each day to maximize it 7 days. That's some good coins right there. And that's a good deal. And that's a good business acumen. She did a good job putting that together. And so everybody talking shit about it and trying to question where she got her money and how she got the capital to even build this. It is hurtful. But Marlo, you might as well tell them the truth and how you got your money so they can just clear it. Because they're all speculating, and the speculation they usually give is genuinely worse than what the truth is. So go and tell us if you were fucking for the money, or if you just escorted for the money, or if you have houses, or you have a OnlyFans page or something that you created. We need to know something, child. We know you can get off from that Birkin bag sales. I mean, damn. So that's how the episode ends. Marlo walking away and she's pissed off at Drew and everybody else that's been talking shit. And that was this episode. The premiere was funny. When I say eventful wise, no. But as far as what they did was, since it wasn't as eventful, they just piled on the shade. And they piled on so much that I was laughing the whole time. So I was tickled pink. I was very happy that this is how they gave us the first episode of it. Was good. I'm going to continue to review it. I hope you guys enjoyed my review as much as I enjoyed doing it, okay? And you have a good rest of your day.